welcome back to another episode of World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. Well, I was all set up today to actually do a video going through my detailed response to the actual changes in Update 6.0, and I had spent the last week collecting footage and video and actually going through all the different areas that have changed and giving a commentary on what I thought were the changes and what I thought the consequences of the changes were. And then I looked at the video, but I had completed, you would say, and I didn't like the final product, so I'm scrapping it and I'm doing this instead. And I'm going to just give more of an impression on what I've thought of the changes so far. First of all, I can completely understand why people are upset. People are innately conservative. This is one of the things about people, and fans are actually particularly conservative. They became fans of the thing that you currently had. It's a well-known phenomenon, shall we say, in the music industry, where a band does 2 or 3 albums in a particular style or genre, heavy metal or something, country and western, doesn't matter, and then they turn out something very different, not similar, not a crossover thing, but something radically different, jazz or ragtime or dance music or something. And it causes uproar among the existing fan base and frequently the abandonment and the financial ruin of the band. It's not unknown. It's a bit like the reaction when Bob Dylan went to Electric, that sort of thing. You can look it up and Google it. It's interesting enough. So there's a similar reaction here because the fan base were used to the particular game, and the game actually looks differently, and it's also was buggy, and there was some fairly obvious things missing, some fairly obvious things still missing, like the proper kill feed. Don't want their names, I want to know what tank died. The changing of the minimap, people were used to the minimap where it was, and there were actually some people preferred the radar, so the radar was initially unavailable, so that was going to upset people. And there's no particular excuse for a lot of that kind of stuff, especially on an Xbox, because they've only got a limited set of consoles to test the system against. It's not like consoles. It's not like the PC gaming industry where every person and their dog has a different configuration, different sound cards, different motherboards, different chipsets, different memory configurations, so on and so forth. Like you can imagine, there's actually quite a limited set of consoles. And there's no excuse for not being able to test against all of them. So, buggy, missing features, radical changes. Yes, people are angry and people are upset. And what the long-term effect is that will be, I don't know. This can be actually quite dramatic. I've been on the forums again now recently, just kind of quick dip in, had a quick look. And people are still mad. It kind of reminds me of Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons and Dragons when they brought out 4th edition. It provoked strong reactions. Now, the trouble with 4th edition is it's kind of split the community 50-50. Pretty much a lot of people that liked it really liked it. I was one of the people that actually liked it. And a lot of the people that hated it and never, so we say, would play it or still don't have a good word to say about it, even though it's no longer the official version for over about 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. 10 years probably since the playtests, yeah. So the video that I intended to make, yes, that turned out to be, like I said, too long, and it still wasn't complete, in the sense that it wasn't a comprehensive go-through of everything that has changed. It was just took the kind of press release for Update 6 and went through the headings of that and went through the relevant pieces of the game. And even then, it was just taking too long. And the thing about the relevant pieces of the game is that there's a lot changed. They've completely reworked the commander system. They have substantially, I don't know if they've reworked, but they've changed the equipment. They have changed the consumables, and I think that's where the big change in the economy comes from. As far as I can tell now, any consumables you put on the tank are consumed in the battle. So you're paying full replacement cost of consumables. They also essentially reverted everything back to the defaults. So all your tanks that you had set up, like, okay, you still retain your original ammunition loadouts, but your consumable loadouts, I think, were they upgraded to the equivalent or the empty? I can't remember what the default is. But all the pricing defaults to gold, to the original defaults. So you could find yourself paying, if you're not careful and you just jump into a game, play and have everything set to auto resupply, you could suddenly find yourself spending gold that you didn't intend to, which is bad form, but is in keeping with the way Wargaming have done this in the past. In fact, there was a time, I think every time you changed a package with a turret configuration, so that you changed from one turret and gun to another, the system would actually reset back to gold again, and you could find yourself losing gold that way as well. And of course, the most affected by this are the veteran players, the people with the maxed out crews with full sets of skills and stuff like that. I mean, I'm affected even though I didn't have any crew that had all their skill slots filled. But I did have a lot of crews with 10 plus skills. And as the skills have been reworked, yeah, it's gonna behave differently, and it's going to be, in some ways your crews are now going to be a bit more specialised, I think. It's potentially, actually, they could be even more potent. The difference between a veteran crew and a not so veteran, an experienced crew, or a person that doesn't even realise that they can put commanders in the tank. That's another thing, like, I'm not too sure about that now that I think about it. Is that a newbie trap? If you can drive your tanks without putting commanders in it, does this mean the player isn't going to find out about the commanders? I mean, obviously I'd have to probably create an alt account and sign on with a separate account to see how that would work. But it strikes me that it's very possible a lot of new players might join on the game and never even realise they have commanders, and they would be at a significant disadvantage over compared to players that have commanders. In fact, not much point in using consumables, well, other than repair kits and maybe fire extinguishers, without actually having a crew in the tank, because a lot of the bonuses affect the crew skills, not the actual direct tanking skills. And this was done with no warning, no attempt to lead people. It just, as far as I can tell, popped up out of the blue, and just these radical changes. So that certainly didn't go down well either. Let me know what you think in the comments. I look forward to any views that people have, and I will catch you again in the next one. Bye for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press like, comment, share. It really helps the channel out. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.